Okay, friends, we are good to go. We're on page 35 of Ted Greene's Chord Chemistry. If you don't have the book yet, you can grab it here in the link in the card above or the link in the description. We are walking literally through the book, page by page, word by word, chord by chord. And today we're starting with dominant seventh chords, section 8 chord reference charts, and we are going to kick it right now. Let's take a run through the old stable, shall we? Starting on position number 2, we have the flat 7, the 3, the 5, and then the 1. Very nice flat 7. Very cool voicing, kind of a standard. All of these circle tones we could add if you want into the top of the voicing, and then if we needed to edit it, so go ahead and check those out, but we are going to just focus on the dark tones for now, okay? All right, position number 5, A7. Again, what a surprise, another dominant 7th chord. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. We have the root, the 5, the flat 7, the 3 in a classic presentation. Very guitar-friendly shape here. We could make it a big fat 6-string chord, so we shall. A7, we're moving right along. Position number 7, what does position number 7 have in store for us? We have a 3, a flat 7. Well, let's change that up a little bit because the fingering is going to look a little bit more like this, with the flat, or with the 3, the flat 7, the root note, and then the 5 on the top. Next up is E7 on position number 6. We have root, 3, flat 7. That's really all we need. We could place the 5 on the top or underneath if we were playing, with a 5th. Not necessary. This is enough information to discern that it's a dominant 7 chord. E note in the bass. Don't you just love it? Position number 2, we have the 3, the flat 7, again the 1, but this time we're actually reframing the finger pattern to include the, let's see, the 3, the flat 7, the 1, and then the 5 on the top. We'll get to that stuff. A7. Position number 6, this is a really nice one because now we have the 5, the root note, the 3, and then the flat 7 on the top. There it is. A7, position number 9. Let's take a look at this one, beginning with the flat 7 in the bass, the 3, the root, or the 5, and then the root note sits right on the top here on the B string. E7 is looking at position number 7. We have root 5. This is another great guitaristic chord shape, similar to the one that we did with the A7 a few minutes ago, but it's, root 5 now. Root note is literally on the 5th string of the guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4. A string is 5, 5th string. So root 5, flat 7, 3. If you wanted to, you can drop that bomb on the bottom, just to flesh it out, just to give our ears the sense that it is rooted in E. All right, A7, position number 3, starting with the 5, or the root and fret number 5, root 3, 5, and then we've got this flat 7 on the top, so we've got this really neat, dense cluster in the bass, and then another third, really a third, and then another third, 5 and flat 7, so another third on the top. So we could actually get all of those notes by just playing using 4 different fingers in the picking hand. A7 on fret number 2, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We have the 5, root 3, and then flat 7 on the top. This is another great shape. Great guitaristic shape. And we're going to continue right up that, just ascending that top 4-string contiguous group on position number 5. E7 on position number 4. This, we're mixing it up a little bit here now. So we have the 3, the flat 7, the root, and then the 3 on the top again. So we are doubling the third with E in the bass. E7 on position number 2, which is basically the D7 chord moved up 2 frets to a bar chord, right? Or to a closed position chord or bar chord. E7 on fret number 5. Let's take a quick gander. We have the 3, the flat 7, and the root note, and the 5th on the top. Good. A7 is position number 2 with the flatted 7 in the bass. This is a really nice voicing to just be aware of, because you can come away from, you know, that really nice chord progressions just coming off of that A chord with the root note in the bass and just kind of creating these really nice descending bass patterns. So this is really handy thing to know about for any type of music, right? A7 on position number 5, we're again looking at really just drawing on guitaristic shapes here. We have the root, the flat 7 to 3, and then the 5 on the top, and we're framing to play all of that with this fingering. Each finger is kind of committed to a different fret. We could, you know, isolate certain fingers so we can add other tones. We'll get to that stuff later. Position number 2, let's take a look. We have the 3 in the bass, E7. Root note 5, and then flat 7. Then we have E7 again on position number 5, which is 5th in the bass this time, 3 flat 7, and then root. Instead of doubling up on the root note, we placed the 5th in the bass and fattened up the sound a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna fatten it up a little bit before we play it. A7, let's take a quick look at this one. So we have 4th fret, position number 2, 4th fret. We have the 3 in the bass, the root note. We are going to change the fingerings a little bit. I don't know, what are we doing here? We've got, this one works pretty well, I think. 3 in the bass, root note, 5th, and then flat 7 on the top. Yes, very nice stuff. And I try to remember to sing the root note so that I can tonicize each one of these chords to their appropriate root notes. Position number 5, we're looking at 5-3 root and then flat 7 on the B string. Skipping over the D string and the high E, or the low E, yeah. Position number 9, let's take a quick look at what's going on here. We're starting with basically the A major triad on the top 3 strings. We have the 3, the 1, and the 5, or the 5, 1, and 3, or the 1, 3, 5, then the flat 7 in the bass. I would recommend playing it like that or like this, or it really depends from where are we coming from, you know? So we have to ask ourselves that a little bit as we start really wondering about how to finger these chord voicings. E7 on fret number 7. So we have the root, the flat 7, the 3, and the 5. A7 is on fret number 2. We have the, we're going to flat 7 in the bass, 3, root note, and 5 on the top. So we have a diminished 5th, and then a perfect 5th on the top of it. Yeah, it really sounds different when you start to break it apart, doesn't it? A7 on position number 5. This is another really great guitaristic shape, right? We've got that flat 7 on the top, really beautifully laid out for the standard tuned guitar. We have the root 5, 3, flat 7. All right, E7, 3 more voicings on page 35 here, and then we can move, we'll flip the page. It's a little bit of a big page when we flip, but it's good. We'll get through all of these really beautiful chords. Fret number 4, E7. Let's take a look at the 3 in the bass, the flatted 7, and then the 5, and then the root on the top. So we have really nice presentation of the melody on the top, and then we run a really nice wide gamut, a nice wide range on the voicing here. E7 with, we're on position number 7. We have the 5 and then the root note, and then we're skipping over the D string, jumping up to the flatted 7, and then the 3 on the top of that. A7 on fret number 3, we have the 3, the flat 7, the 3, and then the 5, and then the root note on the top of those. So we're looking at augmented 4th or diminished 5th, and then a perfect 4th on top of it. All right, flipping the page now, we're moving from 35 to 36. Oh wow, a whole page right here. I hope you brought your helmet and chin strap today. We might need it. We'll be all right. We just gotta breathe and just really do the things that we're here to do, which is to walk through and play every one of these chords at our own pace. So it's okay to get up and take a break, push pause, go up and grab an apple or a tangerine, you know, whatever. Get a snack, move around, get the blood circulating again. Let's jump right back into it. A7 on fret number 9 is wow, that's pretty wild. The 3, the 5, the flat 7, I'm sorry. The 3, the flat 7, the root note, and the 5 is on top. I was kind of looking at it from reverse, right? So we have the 5 on the top. I really love this voicing. Another 5th, you know, diminished 5th or whatever on the bottom with a perfect 5th on the top. E7, what we're looking at here is another one of those 4s on the bass. And then we have the 3 and the flat 7 on the top. So we're experimenting with 4s separated by multiple string skip, right? So we have the D and the G strings, which we do not use. And we're moving right along to A7 on position number 3. So here it is. We have 3, we have the root note, we have the 3, the 5, the flat 7 way up here if we wanted it. We could double it with the 3rd finger here. If you feel like you wanted to double the flatted 7 for some reason. Okay, so this next chord is labeled incorrectly. I think this is what it's supposed to be on position number 5. I have it labeled as 9, but I think it's 5. So we have the 3, the 5, the flat 7, and the root note on the top. There it is, okay. So just mark that in your book. All right, A7, we have position number 9, we have up to 12, so we have the 5, the flat 7, the root note, and the 3 on the top. Yeah, and we are moving right along to 7. So E7 is on position number 7, and we have the flatted 7 in the top, and then we are basically playing the E major triad with the flatted 7 way down there beneath it, instead of root note in the bottom in the bass. Yeah, just a wonderful, wonderful concept. All right, moving along. So here's position number 10. We have the flat 7 again. So we're using that same E triad. And then instead of playing the root note here, we're just kind of dropping it down a whole step. Kind of what we did with here, you know, with that A chord. Really an interesting chord shape. Just a great shape to know and how to play, right? Here's another one, same thing, but just octave displacing this, kicking this up a couple octaves to place that D note or that flat 7 on the top of the E major triad this time. Let's take a look at position number 8, which is A dominant 7 again, position 8. So what's in store for us now? The flat 7 to 5, and then the 3, and then the 1. So it's a very nice closed piano style voicing. Yes, it is. E7 on position number 4. So we're on fret 4 with the 3rd in the bass. Then we have the root note I see, and then we have the flat 7 and the 5 on the top. E7 on position number 7, 5 in the bass. Then we have the flat 7 and the 3 and the root note on the top. Let's take a look at what happens when we place the flatted 7 on the top. And then the root note, and then followed by the 5, and then the 3 in the bass. What a brilliant sound that is. Really nice resonance on the guitar. Ooh. Yeah. E7 on position number 5. So let's take a look at that. 5, flat 7, 3, and then root note on above it. Yeah, basic, very nice, straight ahead voicing. And then this one, some of these voicings that we're doing here, like this one in particular, you can see that the melodic note is on position, we start in position 7. So we have the flat 7, the root, and then the 5, and then the 3 on the top. So you can see right away that this melody is separated from the rest of what's underneath it. So really developing an independence for those situations is really important, as we work through this book. At least it is for me, just to have access to all of those melodies. Position number 11, we have root 3, and then flat 7 and the 5. Just plugging those in and working those chords together is a big help. Position number 9, 3, 5, 7, root note, and flat 7 on the top. A7, so we're on position number 5. We have the 5th, the flat 7, the 3, and then the root note on the top. Nice cluster in the bass region. Looking for the root note to tonicize it for us. Same thing that we're doing here. We're just kind of bringing this up the guitar neck. So we have the flat 7, the root note, followed by the 5 and the 3 on the top. So we've got to do this a little bit of like backwards for me to approach these. I've got to get that twist in my 2nd and 3rd fingers just kind of figured out so that way I know how to come back to it immediately. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that takes a little bit of time to get used to. E7 on fret number 6 is basically, it's another really great gimme type chord. We have the root 3, flat 7 cluster in the bass, and then a 5 on the top. And then A7, of course, with the 3 in the bass, the flat 7, the 5, and the root note on the top. Dominant 7-1 one more time. I guess we'll do it a few more times, actually. So we have the 5, the root, then the flat 7, and then the 3 on the top. E7 on fret number 5, so we have the let's see, what are we doing here? We have the flat 7, the 3, the root note, and then the 5 on top of it. E7 on position number 7, we're looking at root note, 5, 3, flat 7 on top, in a really nice, clean, super easy to understand guitar voicing. Root, flat 7, 5, and then 3. This one's really kind of crazy because now what we really need to do is really train the picking hand to grab the correct strings in order to span the distance of that, the scope of that chord. The string skips involved are just very potentially demanding. A7 is position number 9, so we're on fret 3. No, we're on the 9th fret, which is the 3rd of the chord, the flat 7, or the root note, sorry. And then this is going to be another one of those where you can decide to use the 4th finger to bar, but you know, if you hit the wrong string like I'm doing now, you hear the 11 instead of the root note. E7 with 9th fret, 9th position indicated is, let's see, we have the flat 7, the 5, the 3, and the root note on the top. Yeah. Position number 10, we're just going to pop up 1 fret and see what we get when we play that E major triad on the high E string, you know, that basic, you know, that really familiar shape to us, but place the flat 7 way down beneath it in the bass. Really cool stuff, useful. E7 on position number 9, so we're looking at root, 3, flat 7, and then root again. Nice closed position. E7 on position 6. We have the 5, the 3, the root note. We're a bit of a stretch here. And then the flat 7 on the top. E7, which is on fret number 5. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. This is, Mustang Sally. At least it is for me. For many of us, that same kind of E7. Root, 3, flat 7, and root note on the top. No 5th needed because it's really just not necessary. We have everything that we need in the root, 3, and 7s to inform our ears of whether it's major and what kind of 7th it is. So that's really cool to know that we can double up on the root note to increase that unison value, that power. Fret 4 is the 3 in the bass, then we reach up to the 7, which is the root note. Then we're off to the races. We have the flat 7, and then we have the root note again. So it's basically that E7 chord that we were doing, right? But with the 3 here, but all we've done is octave reduced it to just to the low E string on fret number 4. Yeah. A7, we're doing a similar thing here where we have the root note, well, we're not really doing that, but we're actually jumping from the root note to the flat 7 to the root note to the 3. Again, no 5th. Gives it a really nice, rich sound. Position number 9, we're looking at root 3. This is going to be quite an interesting shape here. And then I think what I'm going to do is play it like it's the G7 chord on fret number open position, right? It's G7. But if we played the G7 with the last 3 fingers, and then we moved it up 1 fret, and then take all of those open strings up 1 fret, this is where we're at. We're basically just turning it into a G7 chord into a bar chord. So we have the root 3, 5, root 3, flat 7 on the top. E7 on fret number 6. Let's take another look at this one. Root 3, 7, flat 7 of course, and then 3. Yeah. A7 on fret number 4. We have the root 3, flat 7, and 3 again. So it's okay to get these all clustered together and double those thirds if you really want to, you know. If you really mean it enough, it can be done. All right, so we have the root note, we have the position number 6, we have root 3, flat 7, and 3 again. Oh yeah. All right, let's take a look at this one. We have the 3 in the bass. I can see we have the 3, the flat 7, the 3, and then the 5. So another rootless one. Actually, it might be our first rootless one. E7 with 5th position, stating the flat 7 in the bass, the 3, the flat 7, and then the root note again on the top. Really interesting shape right there. Moving along to A on position number 5. Root, flat 7, 3, and then flat 7 or root note on the top. So I would just kind of use those 4 tones. E7 is fret number 4. Position number 4 is the 3rd, the flat 7, the 3 again, and then the 5. Position number 5, we have the A, the root, the 5, the flat 7, and 3 on the top. So the 5th on the bottom and the 5th, which is diminished, on the top of it, way up there. Great sounds. All right, this is another really cool one because it's got the root note on the top and then the 3, the root note, and then we'll go ahead and use the flat 7 underneath it. So this is a really nice voicing for that kind of playing. If you were going to use it as a one-off thing and not use it as a segment to voice lead from one chord to the next. The next one is A5. Well, let's see, A7 on position 5. We have the 3 in the bass, the flat 7, and then the 5. So 3, flat 7, 5, and then root note. This is a really great fingering for this chord. E7 on fret number 6. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So we have 6, flat 7, 3, root, 5 on the top. That's fret 6. That's quite a stretch there to get it right without stretching the strings out and bending the strings. This is a real challenge right here. I'm thankful that I've been working on these finger stretches every morning right here on my channel, live at 7:30 a.m. every weekday morning. Join us if you'd like. It's free. Position number 9, we have the root note, the 5, the 3, and then the flat 7 on the top. So these voicings are getting pretty stretchy here. Position 5, we have the root, or the 5, the flat 7, and then we have the root and 3 on the top of those. Really nice, thick sound. A7 on position number 9. Let's move up to that and just reassess where we are at. We have the 5, we have the 5, we have the flat 7, we have the 3, and then we have the 5 again. In another rootless voicing, okay? Love it. Love every second of this, absolutely. Flat 7, and then we have the 5, what is this? So we have the 5, the 3, and then the root, and then the flat 7 in the bass. Very cool voicing, very hip and very happening. All right, A7, let's see what this is. A little bit of relief here. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on this one. We have the 5, flat 7, 3, and then the 5 duplicated or doubled. you know, whatever that terminology is you would prefer to use. Position number 4, root note, flat 7, root note, 3. You know, very, very cool voicing with that whole step in it. That whole step is very pleasant for the ears as soon as it's buried in the middle of a chord. A7, this is a funky looking one. We've got the flat 7, the root, the 3, and then the root on the top. Good. A7 is position number 5. We have the root, flat 7, and then we have the 5 and the 3 on the top. Just careful not to lose that D string underneath the knuckle of the first finger there, okay? Yeah, very cool shape, very cool shape. E7 is on fret number 7. We have the 5, we have the 3, we have the root, and then we have the flat 7 on the top. Got to keep the fingernails trimmed for these chords. 4, position 4, we are E7 again with the 3 in the bass. Again, the root, 3, flat 7 with 3 in the bass. A7 on fret number 4. Let's take a look at that. C in the bass, C sharp in the bass. So we have the 3, we have the root note, and then the 3 again, and the flat 7 on the top of that. Yeah, very good. E7 is on position number 2. 3, flat 7, 3, flat 7, root, and then I've got to grab that root note up again here. And then A7 again with the 3 in the bass. Functionally, we have the 3 in the bass, the flat 7, the root, and then the root again on the top. So you have this really nice cluster in the bass, and then the melody jumps again to separate itself from all of that wild stuff in the bass regions. So we have the root note, the 3, the flat 7, and then the root note again. Another really great guitar shape. Here we go with using one finger and double stopping it over 2 frets on 2 different strings. All right, the same fret across 2 different strings. So we're on position number 6, which gives us the 5, the root, the 3, and then the flat 7 way up there. What a surprise it is to hear that chord voicing for the very first time. Yeah. Can we get right back to it? Yes, we can. You can open up the B string there too. It's okay. Fret number 2, let's take a look. Flat 7, 3, root, and then flat 7, 3, 5, and then root on the top. All right. Let's go ahead to position number 5. We have the root again in the bass. We have the 5th, the flat 7, and the 3 on the top. Position number 2, we have the root, 3, 5, and then we're going to use this fingering again from that E chord that we had played. We're using the root, 3, 5, and then the flat 7 on the top of it. Good. Position number 11, we have the 3 in the bass, the root, then the root way up top here, and then what is this going? What's going on here? We've got the flat 7 happening here. This is a really feels discombobulated because we're not usually fingering this chord like this. I'm not anyway. Maybe you are, but I love that shape for certain. All right, we have a few stretchy ones here. So we're starting on A7 on position number 5. Root note, flat 7. We have the 5 and then the 3 with the A in the bass. We could always do that too. Good. 9th position, we have the 3, the root, the flat 7, and then the 5. With the E in the bass, the root in the bass. Position number 5, let's take a quick look at this one. We're going way back here to root note, flat 7, 5, and then 3. This is quite a stretch right here. Love the pattern of this one too. Position number, I think it's 8, but let's take a look. It's 9. Position number 9, 3 flat 7 5, and then three root note. Sorry. Position number 9 is A7 again. 3 root note, flat 7 and 5. E7 is going to be this one, this monster of a chord shape. So we have the root, flat 7 3, and then root way up top. A7 here in position number 7 is the 3, the root, the flat 7, and the 5 on the top. Good. All right, so let's take a quick look at E7 here. We have the 3, the 4, and the second finger double stopping the G and B strings, and then the first finger on fret 7 on the high E string. So we have the actual 3, the flat 7, we have the root note, the 3, and then the 5 on the top. It's hard to keep that one in tune, friends. So we'll strive for that one for certain. And the next to last chord, the penultimate chord, is fret the 7 on, for this E7, it's the flat 7, the 5, the 3, and the root note. Piano style voicing here. So we have the 3, the 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And the final chord for the hour is A7 on position number 10. We have a 5, a flat 7, a root, and a 3. And with that, we will conclude our session for today. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to see you again. And if you haven't had a chance to buy the book yet, you can grab it here in the link in the card above or a link in the description. And I really appreciate you being here. And if you like this session, you're going to love this one as well. So without further ado, I'll let you get back to your thing. I hope you have a wonderful day practicing your guitar. And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.